Hey, oh, Jesus. Hey, what's going on? What the fuck was that? This is Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. Sorry, I just woke up. I had a frog in my throat. Oh, Billy, no vice. William without. 12 days in here. No booze. No cigars, although you wouldn't know what that frog I just had in my throat. No, nothing. He's being a Billy Angel. I'm going to open for Chris Angel out there in fucking Vegas. I'm going to sit there and just wag my finger at everybody in the crowd. Tell them how they're living a life of vice. I have to tell you, people, when you find Christ, I got to the mornings. The mornings are the best. When you lived a vice-free life the night before. You wake up, it's amazing. The birds are singing a little louder. There's a few more nooks and crannies in your fucking English muffin. You just sit there watching the butter melting into it. Yeah, the mornings are great. I'm bored out of my fucking mind at night. Out of my mind, bored. Anyways, but here's one for sobriety. Now, one of those fucking poor bastards at AA just sit there chowing donuts and smoking cigarettes. They need something. They're trying to get a buzz, nicotine, sugar, something to break up the fucking monotony. Yeah, let me get a fucking two glazed, a fucking jelly donut. Just shoving it down their pie hole. That's the worst thing about opening Pandora's box. Because once you fucking do that, then you just know how much fun you could be having. You know, as you're sitting around playing Fan-Tan or something like that. Drinking a goddamn Arnold Palmer. You know, I remember one time I was hanging out with this guy. I'm not going to name the name of the person, but he was hanging out with this super fucking legendary, famous fucking rock star. The dude had never got married, never had any kids or whatever. And I remember hanging out with that guy, and he could not. It was all these beautiful women around. He was barely looking at them. He could not have been more bored because he had gone so far down that fucking road. Like what it took at that point to even keep the pilot light going in his fucking eyes. I'm not going to sit here with this fucking... Hang on a second. Sorry. I had to clear my throat there. Why the fuck did I hit stop instead of pause? Now I got to edit those two things together. You know what it is? It's when you're living as clean as I am, the toxins through years of abuse start to come to the surface and your body is ridding them, cleansing them. Anyways, yeah, so this guy, he was just like, there wasn't any woman in there that could turn his fucking head. There wasn't a joke that could make him smile. This guy, he went too far. He went too far down the hole. He got pulled out, and now he's just sitting there, just fucking bored. You know, I mean, how the fuck, you know, once you participate in like an orgy and you're the only male participant, I just don't understand, like, where, you know, what the fuck does that guy do? Hey, you want to go to brunch? You know, hey, let's go to a game. Let's go to this arena that you sold out and had an orgy in, and let's go watch other people fucking chase a puck. You want to go do that? There's like nothing you could suggest to this guy. He'd have to, you know what? That guy, like his next fucking move to get his adrenaline going would probably be do that Red Bull jump where you're just falling from outer space. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but that's what you expect. That's what you expect out. That's what I expect out of this podcast. And that's what's wrong with America. Americans podcasting with absolutely no expectations on how well the show's going to go. All right, let's talk Yankees, Red Sox. Oh, it's heating up again. The Red Sox raped the Yankees 14-1 on Monday. Or what was it, Monday? I'm sorry, Tuesday. All right. I remember when I was a kid, they'd be like, they should save these runs for tomorrow. Like you can save runs. And then yesterday, our starting pitcher, Pricey, got hurt or something, so our pitching was shit yesterday, and the Yankees ended up winning, which is fine. There's like 9 million games left, but I think it was really stupid of the Red Sox to get into a fight with them. That fight was good for the Yankees because they're not as good a team. They got bats, but they don't have pitching. And pitching is always going to win come October. You don't need to get involved in that stupid shit. And we did. So now they're all fucking excited. You don't do that. You know, the guy wants to slide like that. I mean, up until last year, that was legal. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Just strike the guy out. Have him sit down with his big fucking stupid face. I hate baseball players in this stupid fighting where everybody comes out and piles on each other. And nobody does the you're lucky you're holding me back better than fucking baseball players. Maybe basketball players. I don't know. That's stupid after the fight, and there's like two guys holding you back, and then you still have to do that stupid charge. You know you're not going to get there. It's over. Button your shirt and go to the showers. But anyways, we were getting killed, and we still, it was almost like the Yankees couldn't score enough runs. So we have bats and we have pitching. We're in a great position. Why would we get involved in that tomfoolery? I mean, this is sober Bill talking. Oh, you know what's so stupid is in the middle of the fight, you just hear this guy go, Yankees suck, Yankees suck. Red Sox fan, can we retire that stupid chant already? It's like fucking Manchurian Candidate level. The second anything happens, you got to start chanting that. Not that Yankee fans are innocent with that stupid 1918 forever, and then when that chant was over, then they switched it to Boston sucks, which is the worst chant ever. I don't know. There's so much of it that it just makes me want to hit mute. The Sweet Caroline, the Yankees suck chant, all of that stuff. It says to me that people do not think for themselves, and that fucking mob mentality. I don't like the Yankees, but we beat them. The movie is over. It's over. Roll credits. We won the World Series. They are now reduced to going, hey, remember what we did last century? Remember that? I mean, that's what they've been reduced to. Why would you make them actually feel that they hold some sort of position by continuing to chant Yankees suck? They don't suck. They're a good fucking team, and I love the way that they've built from their farm team and then added that big free agent from Miami or Florida or fucking Tuscaloosa, whatever the fuck they call themselves now. Okeechobee, the Okeechobee Marlins. I like what they've done. They don't suck, and I think that Aaron Boone's going to be a great manager. And I look forward to the competition between both teams. And who gives a fuck? Either we win or they win or somebody else wins. Who gives a shit? Just enjoy the fucking game. Don't go there and be a fucking mouth breather. For the love of God, will you sit down when they play that stupid Sweet Caroline? How many fucking times can you do it? Bum, bum, bum. The fucking Yankee fans sit there singing fucking YMCA. You know what? I shouldn't go this hard. You know, it's for the kids. It's tradition. It's what brings people together. I don't know. I thought the Yankees did pretty good before they had to sing that fucking song during the seventh inning. And the stupid grounds crew doing the little twirly twirl. Oh, my God, I'm such a cunt today. Anyways, I'm sure Dan Shaughnessy is very excited that it's heated up again, and he can actually write about the sport that he knows about and ignore the Bruins playoff run. Why do I always pick on Dan Shaughnessy? I don't hate that guy. I just like picking on him. Because I will never forgive that fucking guy for after 2004 when we won, and then 2005 we were in first place in September, and we got a bunch of injuries which clearly affected the team. And then the $200 million Yankees, I believe, ended up coming and passing us. And Shaughnessy's like, is the curse back? I was like, right there, you're not a Red Sox fan. You're just not. You're a guy making money off of misery. You're your own little corporation, profiting off of war in a sports sense. Jesus, Bill, you went big there. Yes, I did. And I'll do it again. Anyways, the Bruins playoff run starts tonight. And I have a lot of nerve giving Shaughnessy shit, considering I maybe watched 4 games this year, now that I got the little one. And we're playing the Toronto Maple Leafs. And those poor bastards are going to have to fucking endure the highlight reel of what happened the last time we played them. And just know that I was at that fucking game. I actually, something? It's funny. I feel like Maple Leaf fans hate the Bruins. And I don't hate the Maple Leafs. I actually like the Maple Leafs. I hate the Canadians. That's it. And a couple of knee breakers on the Penguins. Other than that. And not even that the Penguins have knee breakers. It's just that they then turn around and complain when somebody gets a little rough on the other team. They were attacking Sydney. They bug me. That's it. Other than that, I don't have a problem with anybody. I'm looking forward to a wonderful 7-game series. We'll see how it goes. But it comes on at 4 o'clock here. I'm balancing my entire fucking schedule. Is that it? Is that how I say it? My entire fucking schedule is going to be based around that. My daughter takes a nap from 3 to 5, so I figure I'll get to watch the first period. And then I'll probably be fucked. Who's kidding who? I'm actually flying tomorrow. I'm flying out to Charlotte for the Rough and Rowdy fight. I'm going to be commentating, watching regular peoples, Americans on Americans fighting. There's going to be over 40 fights. And I'm feeling that this is going to be like when I did the Joe Rogan, Doug Stanhope, End of the Universe podcast on election night. That's the vibe that I feel like is going to be going on. So I'm just going to be trying to get in as many jokes as I can. It's already entertaining while getting out of the way of the action. I've never done any shit like this. I remember when I was a kid, my mother thought I should be a sports commentator. I don't think she pictured me starting my career at an event like this. But I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And it's a $15 pay-per-view, unless you wait till the day of. So today's the last day where you can get it for like $15.99. After that, it goes up to $19.99. But if you're a college kid, a couple, 2-3 year friends throw in like $5.50 each. Get yourself a Domino's pizza and whatever else you want to do. As Mike Golick would say, an adult beverage. And enjoy the fights. Anyways, plowing ahead here. I've started my workout, my serious workout regimen to somehow stave off the fact that I'm turning 50 in fucking June. The big 5-0. You fucking old. Your fucking balls hang down to the floor. I actually feel fortunate to have made it this long, considering a bunch of my friends did not, and then also the direction we seem to be going here. Why are we bombing Syria? Why are we going to do this? How much further into this fucking Middle East shit are we going to go? I don't understand why France, us, Russia, all of these fucking people, why the fuck do we keep intervening over there? You know what I mean? These people have been fighting with each other forever. And then we're going to come in, hey, settle down, give us the oil. Settle down. You shouldn't do that to one another, give us the oil. Stop doing that. France's President Emmanuel Macron says he has proof that the Syrian government attacked the town of Douma with chemical weapons last weekend. He said he would decide in due course whether to respond with airstrikes. I don't know how these world leaders do that shit. It's like, you're going to respond with airstrikes, and they're not all going to land on the people that did it. And then you have to go to bed that night going like, well, I think most of them landed on the people that were guilty. The others landed in a food court. I think that's why they age. Although I think Donald Trump is going to age wonderfully during his presidency, because I don't think he really understands the ramifications of what the fuck it is that he's saying or doing. Who the fuck tweets about when a country's going to strike another country? Isn't that supposed to kind of be a secret? Or the way he's trying to do the 3-card Monty. It could be now, it could be not at all, or maybe later. It's funny. There's probably Syrian people actually looking at his tweets. Like looking at it like they found clues. Sorry, I just got this fucking email. The goddamn fucking state of Wisconsin just hit me with this huge goddamn tax bill. I was like, how the fuck do I owe you guys all that goddamn money? Yeah, I know why they hit me with that shit. I know why, because we're spending money in this country and a bunch of other shits. So then I come down there and they fucking pull the pants down. They give old Freckles a good spanking before I leave the state. That's like a new thing, all of these scams. Do you know in Pittsburgh they had an entertainment tax for a while? If you were an entertainer, if you spun plates and you went to Pittsburgh, they taxed you for entertaining people. Literally doing your job. When I was in St. Louis one time, I was in a hotel, and I actually took the time to look at the bill, and the city of St. Louis or the state of Missouri charged me, what the fuck did they call it? An occupation tax on the room. They taxed me for occupying the room. They're just shaking like fucking $20, $30 out of your pocket. We'll take that. Thank you for coming here. Did you get a chance to visit the fucking Ozarks? I don't know. I'll tell you, it's all a goddamn scam. What am I going to do? Am I going to take on a whole fucking state? Michael Moore would do it. All right. The Penguins, Jesus Christ. What'd they win? 18-0 against the fucking Flyers. I didn't get to watch any of the hockey last night. I was editing season 3 of F is for Family. I think I'm going to tell you right now, and I can say this with total confidence. This is without a doubt our best season. It's a noticeable jump between the first and second seasons. And I can't wait for you guys to see it, but it's animation. So I'm going to be like Donald Trump. You could be seeing these episodes soon, or maybe later, possibly not at all, or maybe they're on right now. I should get a giant fucking toupee like him. He doesn't have a toupee. I think he did a comb over, and then he did some hair plugs, and they didn't work, but now the hair plugs are better, and I think maybe they worked. But then he just has to kind of commit to the comb over. You know? I actually think he kind of has nice hair. You know, the way he gets dyed all golden. When it goes orange, it's bad. But when he has like the golden sort of fucking Stray Cats haircut, you know, we're gonna bomb this town, bomb it inside out. I think it's a good look. I could see him with like an upright bass. I want to get one of those fucking. What would you guys do if somehow I got fucking? I actually caved and I got fucking hair plugs, right? And I had a giant red Stray Cats fucking hairdo out of nowhere. No, not out of nowhere. You would notice it, like pictures of me after shows going, what's going on with the top of Burr's head? And I refuse to, like when someone's slowly transitioning, there's that thing of like, wow, that's an interesting outfit. And then people start, are you trans? And then finally they'd say, yeah, you know what, I am. I would do what Bruce Jenner did, except to my hair. All right? But what if I never fucking addressed it? What if I never went on and talked to Diane Sawyer, you know, and just sat there going, I was the story. I was the story. What if I never did that and refused to ever address my new coif of fucking hair? And I tried to I erased all my podcast, any fucking evidence of me ever admitting that I went bald. And I would just say that I would just refuse to, you know, like Turkey, when they refused to say, yeah, that never happened. If you say it happened, you're going to jail. How much would I be getting heckled if I came out with a fucking Ric Flair haircut? Oh, fuck. You know something? I was talking about MotoGP and the, what was it, the Argentina Grand Prix? Is that where it was? What a fucking race that was. I haven't watched racing enough to even understand what the fuck happened. And I was dealing with my kids, and all of a sudden the race starts, and there was like one person in the front row, nobody in like 30 rows back or something like that, and then a bunch of people in the back. Marc Marquez had stalled his bike, so according to the rules, he had to leave and go restart it or something, and he was riding around in circles, refusing to fucking leave. So then he ended up, this race starts, and he gets penalized or penalized, depending on what part of the country you're from. He got penalized. He goes to the back of the race, and this fucking guy just he was like, I swear to God, he was like 40 seconds ahead of everybody. He was going to win the race going away. It was one of those tracks where it was still wet or whatever, and he was just riding way faster than everybody else. I don't know how. And they said, hey, buddy, you've got to go to the back of the... This is so stupid. I don't even know what I'm talking about. You got to go to the back of the race. So they sent him all the way to the back. He goes to the pits first, and then they sent him to the back of the race because he fucking ran over this guy. You know, he basically went to go past somebody. He's bumping them out of the way like they're in cars, except they're on motorcycles. And he would wave like, sorry about that, and continue on. And like, hey, buddy, you got to go to the back of the fucking race, right? First time I think that he bumped into somebody, they made him sit there in the pits. I don't remember. They penalized this guy so many fucking times. Long story short, he went from first place all the way to last. So now he's blowing by everybody. And he gets up to Valentino Rossi, who's basically the Wayne Gretzky, the Lewis Hamilton, the fucking person you're not supposed to touch or fuck with. And he's trying to get around him. And Valentino Rossi's like, fuck you. You're not getting around me. And rather than waiting for a straightaway, he tried to pass him on a turn, and he just fucking slammed into him. And Valentino got pushed to the outside, and he had control of the bike, but then he went on the grass, and he wiped out. He fell off his bike, and Marquez turns around and waves like, sorry about that, right? Valentino gets up. He's Italian. He goes, right? And then he fucking picks his bike up. Now he's riding. Now all the Valentino Rossi fans are like, what the fuck is with this guy? Marquez gets penalized again, I believe. And so at the end of the fucking race, Marquez walks down with somebody else to Valentino's pit area, whatever they call it. The pageant. I forget what they call it. It begins with a P. And Valentino's like, oh my God, I am like so not talking to you. The mechanic or the chief fucking stewardess down there or something, he's yelling at Marquez, and Marquez ends up walking away. And then Valentino Rossi said he wasn't man enough to come down by himself. He came down with somebody else, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there agreeing with Valentino Rossi. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts sending all these fucking highlights from like 3 years earlier when Rossi basically donkey kicked Marc Marquez off his fucking bike or out of the goddamn race or something like that. So it just seemed like Lewis Hamilton behavior, where it's like, it's okay if I do it, but if you do it, you're a fucking asshole, and now I'm going to have a hissy fit about it. So I think I like Marc Marquez better. You know, I respect Rossi. You know, the little I know about the sport, being the legend that he is. But I like Marquez. Fuck it. If he did that to you years earlier, yeah, pass him at a turn. Knock him off his bike and give him a wave. Who gives a shit? I'm telling you guys, you're missing out on this. All of this took place in like 25 laps. You can watch a race in like 40 minutes, and you can watch this unbelievable fucking sport. I can't even tell you how sold I am on MotoGP. Just to let you know, there's MotoGP 2 and 3, and they're all going to get recorded, and there's going to be like 5 recordings of them, and there's a chance your recorder's going to shut off, which is what would have happened to me. I would have missed the end of the fucking race, but fortunately I got to watch it live. I don't understand. Trying to tape one of those races is practically impossible, so I have to make sure I don't lose the one here. The MotoGP of the Americas is what they call it. Why don't they say Argentina? You know, they say Italy. Why can't we say USA? You know, what are we embarrassed? The Americas? Where is it? Canada? Mexico? Falkland Islands? Anyways, check it out if you get a chance. You know, usually this is the time when I actually do a read or something, and I don't have any advertising. You know what I mean? I'm like that Real Housewife on the Real Housewives that just trashes too many fucking people. And then, just doesn't have any friends anymore. That's where the advertising is slowly going. Okay, on this podcast. And now that I've cleaned up my act as far as my, offstage behavior, I am now going to clean up this podcast in an effort to try to get my advertising back. I am not going to have any sort of opinions. Look, can I just stop right now and just talk about how amazing and strong women are? And how look at your girlfriend or wife right now and just look at whatever she's doing and just realize how strong she is. And really just take time in your day to understand how amazing women are and how right they are and how they do nothing wrong whatsoever, ever. And if they do something wrong, just know that it's because of something that you did. I want everybody to close their eyes and talk to Jesus right now. Should I go that far? No. I think that'd be too limiting. I think if I just say positive things about women. I can't do this. It fucking annoys the shit out of me. A clutch. Is there anything more annoying than a clutch? It goes in my outfit. I don't have any pockets. Can you hold all my shit? Hey, why don't you bring one of your fucking bags? Why don't you bring one of those recycling bags? Why don't you throw that over your fucking outfit? Maybe you'll be making some new fashion statement, right? Like back in the day when women would wear business suits and fucking sneakers. Put on something nice and then have like a little fucking grocery bag. And stick all your shit in there. You giant fucking cell phone. I already have my cell phone in my pocket. You want me to radiate fucking both sides of my scrotum? I mean, not to mention my taint. Do you have any sort of consideration for me whatsoever? Am I just a fucking pack mule? Why don't you get a smaller phone? You're going to walk around with a clutch. I say you go back to a flip phone. That's what I say. That's my big controversial fucking take on this Thursday. Playoff hockey tonight, everybody. Playoff hockey, the third game of the Red Sox Yankees 90 million games that we're going to play this year. I got $50 on every game with my booking agent and Paul Verzi. And I called the two of them the Panic Brothers. Because that first game, they were literally going like, we're done. Oh, my God, we're so screwed. Bullpens, the Yankees have major problems. And then, like, literally the next game, it's just like, dude, we're going to the World Series. And then all of a sudden, fucking Hanley Ramirez hits that grand slam, and we go down from being like fucking down 8-2, and now it's 8-6, and then it's all of a sudden it's like, if we blow this, the bullpen's the problem. It's like, dude, there's 150 games left. I can't fucking do this. But it's so funny to watch Yankee fans act like how Red Sox fans used to act. They don't have any swagger anymore. They're a bunch of fucking nervous Nellies. It's tremendous, which is why, once again, we shouldn't have gotten into that stupid fight with them. Stupid. Why give them an emotional point to rally around? You're the better goddamn team, but it doesn't mean that the better team's going to win. It doesn't mean it, because when you start getting involved in that stupid shit, it's fucking baseball. Nobody's going to get hurt. Everybody's going to come running out. I always wanted to talk to people like who come running out of the bullpen. You know, is that like annoying that by the time you get there, like the fight's already been over for fucking 3 minutes? You know, and you can tell the way they come running out. It's like, what are you're going to be sitting there. You're not pitching that day, right? You're blowing bubbles. You're coming up with fucking games you can play to get through the fucking game. I'm looking at something green. And your buddy's going, the green monster. Nope. That person's Red Sox St. Patty's Day hat. Nope. Right? And all of a sudden, you're like, is that a fight? Is that a fight? And the phone fucking rings. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but there's like a 40-on-40 fight about a football field away. Why don't you come out? It's good. It's going to look good for the team. And he gets up without fucking stretching. And you see him jog out there. They're not going to come running out there full speed. They're going to pull a hamstring. They're going to throw a punch and fuck up their hand. They can't. They're pitchers. They're pitchers. You're looking at a Ken doll. It has no fucking no genitalia. It's running out with that. Every once in a while, you see somebody come running out. That's usually the fucking warm up catcher. That guy will come flying out of there. He's got to do something to make sure he stays on the goddamn team, right? That guy only catches the knuckleballer. He's like, oh, Jesus, I get to do something, right? Anyways, Rough and Rowdy, Charlotte, North Carolina, in the house that Ric Flair built. I cannot fucking wait, and I am actually going out to buy a little haberdash for the fucking... I'm going all out for this thing. And it's going to be a great fucking time. All right? It's going to be as great as every woman on the planet is. They're just great people, every single one of them. None of them needs to do any sort of self-examination. Anything that they're doing, it's because of the man that's in their life, or maybe a man who isn't even in their life. Maybe a man that they've never even met before is the reason for their behavior. That's it, everybody. Have a great weekend and go fuck yourselves, you cunts. And I will talk to you on Monday. I look forward to high-level competition tonight between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. All right? See ya.
house.
Here's the story of a lovely lady.
Got to beat Marcia. Got to get closer than a quarter of an inch. Remember that when Greg Brady was driving that fucking Caprice Classic or whatever the fuck they had, whipping it around the parking lot?
Gotta get closer than an inch and a half. I've gotta win. I've gotta beat Marcia.
Making fun of how broads can't drive. One of my favorite fucking episodes.
Now that's a typical male chauvinist reaction. You're prejudiced against women drivers.
No, I'm not. Not as long as they stay off the roads.
Why are you prejudiced?
It's not prejudice. It's just that men are naturally superior drivers.
My two favorite episodes was the first half of that Brady Bunch episode when Greg Brady was bringing the fucking hammer down and was going, let me tell you three fucking stepsister bitches something. None of you broads know how to drive, and that includes your mother, who I'm banging, by the way. All right, with her weird-ass haircut. Whatever the fuck, you know?
But, yeah, I had a date with him. And, you know, it was, I kind of felt like I was, if you were in school and I were the teacher.
Did anybody ever have that fucking haircut other than her? I mean, that is like, I don't know what it was. She took like Mo from the Three Stooges haircut, and then she put a fucking sort of mullet that she did a little flip to on the back. Anyways, let's get back to you broads. You don't know how to fucking drive. That goes for you with the fucking speech impediment. You don't know how to fucking drive. Jan, with your awful fucking Hasidic Jew fucking curls. I don't know what you're trying to do, you know? And Marcia, who I don't know why I'm not banging you. For some reason, I skipped over you and started banging your mother, right? None of you bitches can fucking drive. And I'm watching this episode going, this Greg Brady's the shit. Greg Brady, fuck Fonzie. You know, with his stupid fucking, you know, spinning around and punching a jukebox. So it plays shaboom, shaboom. I don't give a fuck about that. I like Greg Brady. You know? For as much as Fonzie was talking shit, he was always nice to the ladies. And that's seventh grade game with the woman. Greg Brady, that's how Greg ended up fucking their mom, because he didn't give a shit. He didn't give a fuck. Greg, fuck you, Carol. You're not my mother. You don't know how to drive either. Oh, my God. Took him in that fucking groovy attic they had and started blowing him. That's why his hair got all curly. So anyways, that episode, he's telling these fucking broads that they don't know how to drive. And then in the end, of course, because they always have to cater to women, these nerdy fucking writers, you know, and then in the end, they fucking, you know, Marcia goes around this stupid fucking track. And they had a cone with a little egg on it. You guys have seen this. And she fucking, you know, I forget, whatever. Marcia chokes in the beginning and then in the end, just to fucking even it out. So everybody's happy and they can sell Tide during the commercials. They have Greg fuck up. And knock the egg off. That's what I was trying to get to. Wasn't that what I was trying to get to? That went on so fucking long I can't even remember. All I'm saying is that the guy you want, it doesn't fucking matter how many yards you throw in the regular season. It doesn't fucking matter.
Did I ever say I'd never play or fly through all the sun? Maybe in the meantime something's song.
It's BillBurr, and it is the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, April 12th, 2010. And I'm actually just putting this up here right now to let you guys know that I'm not doing a podcast this week. I apologize. I'm calling in sick. All right? I'm fucking, you know, Remember when Cal Ripken voluntarily took himself out of that game and he ended his streak? I'm ending my podcast streak. This is the first week that I'll ever willingly not do a fucking podcast. You know, it's like in NFL football. The big question is, can you go? If we tape it up and we freeze it, can you go? And this is the first time I could tell you, no, I can't. I can't go this week, everybody. I apologize. So we're going to have a substitute this week. I'm going to pass the mic. No, I'm fucking with you. I really should have had someone stand in. I'm spent. All right? I'm back to drinking. I'm disgusted with myself. I was in Atlanta this week. I didn't drink Wednesday. And I didn't drink Thursday. And then Friday was coming along, and I was tired. Now my buddy was opening for me, and I had a couple of drinks. I had 2 beers, and then I switched to water, which is a great thing, and it usually makes me stop. But the thing was, I left the Punchline in Atlanta. That's where I was at. I was at the Punchline, and I walked across the street to this Club 290. And when, I don't know, somewhere walking from the Punchline across the parking lot to Club 290, I then switched back to alcohol. I don't know what happened. Jesus Christ. Hear my phone ringing in the background? How many times can it ring before you realize either I'm not home or I'm not picking it up? It's probably some fucking telemarketer. Oh, Jesus. There you go. Person finally quit. So anyways, I walk over there and people are drinking, so I had a couple more Budweisers, and then the fucking bartender over there. If you guys live in the Atlanta area, and I feel really bad telling you this, all right? Because it's such a cool fucking thing that I don't want it to get ruined and become anything touristy. You know, I can't even remember what the name of the thing was. Just go in there. There's a bartender named Tommy, and just ask him if you can spin the wheel. All right? This guy out of nowhere says to me and Paul Verzi, who's opening up for me, who fucking killed all weekend. He just pulls out this drum head, and it's got an arrow, and it has a bunch of shit written all around the rim of the drum head. And he goes, spin the arrow, and you'd spin it. And I was so drunk, I don't even know what I got. And Paul spun it first. He got something. The guy goes, okay, you got this. Then he has me spin it. And he goes, all right, you got this. And then he walks over and he picks up this, I don't know what it is. You know, like that thing like that they put like Jaeger in? You know, when you do, like they have Jaeger on tap, you know those things? He basically picked up something like that had a door on the front of it, and he just puts it on top of his head, and he's just staring at us. And all of a sudden, he opens the door, and he has this dumb, cross-eyed look on his face, and he starts singing / rapping, I don't know what. And it doesn't even sound like English. And at the end of every sentence, it kind of fucking rhymes. And right as you start to figure out what he's saying, he stops, makes a weird face, and slams the door right in his face. It's the most fucked up thing. When he first did it, I was like all defensive, like, is this guy going to make me look like a fucking asshole? And then right as I caught on that he was just acting like an idiot, he slammed the door on himself. And it was the best fucking laugh I've had in like 3 months. I can't even imitate what he did. And that was just for Paul. So now he's standing, he just slammed the door, this fucking thing right in his own face, this little door. And now he's just standing there looking at me, but he's not looking at me. He's got this fucking thing on his head, and I know I'm next. And all of a sudden, he opens the door again. He's got that same dumb look on his face. And he said, BillBurr, I can't even fucking do what he was doing. And me and Paul at this point are like pounding the bar, fucking dying laughing. And you didn't want it to end, and all of a sudden he just stops with this fucked up look on his face, and he slams the door in his face again. Club 290, the guy's name's Tommy. Just hang out there. I'm telling you, out of all the fucking weird shit I've seen in bars with people doing tricks with matchbooks, people telling you jokes and everything, was the most unique fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's called the Club 290. Just go in there. Whatever, that's it. The next night I was going to bring actually my video camera and videotape it and put it up on YouTube, but I didn't want to because YouTube ruins everything. Because everything then becomes mainstream and it can't be... it was just this cool underground thing. So what I did to keep it underground was not videotape it and then fucking talk about it on my podcast. What an asshole. So anyway, so I went hard that night. And I stayed out till like 4 a.m. And we ended up driving out of there. And Verzi's going, come on, hey, is anything open? I want to get something to eat. I'm like, dude, I'm not eating this fucking late. Actually, it was like 3. I got to sleep by 4, so it was a little bit before 3. And he goes, no. He goes, I think McDonald's open. I'm like, dude, it's not going to be open this late. And he's like, all right, come on, just drive up there. So I say, fuck it, I drive up there. He sees the lights are on, and you see that one lonely fucking person standing in there, walking around, doing everything. And he's all excited. Dude, the drive-thru's open. Yes, it's fucking open, right? So we go to the drive-thru, and he's like, dude, you going to get something? I'm like, no, dude, I'm not getting any of this shit. I can't eat this fucking late. I'm too old to be eating this late, right? So we go up to the drive-thru, and the guy goes, hey, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order? And immediately my mouth just starts going, yeah, let me get 2 double cheeseburgers, a small fry, and a Coke. And Verzi just starts laughing at me because 2 seconds ago, I wasn't going to get anything. And the second I just started smelling those fries, I said, you know what? Actually, now that I think of it, I'm going to order about 1,280 calories of trans fats. I think that's what I'm going to do. So we get our shit, fucking drive back to the hotel, fucking eat it in his room, and then I go to bed. You know, I wake up the next day at like 12:30, and I'm not worth shit. I'm not worth fucking shit. We get up, we go to the Waffle House. This is what I did to my body this week. This is why there's no podcast this week. This is not a podcast. Okay? So if you guys don't like this podcast, don't write me and say that podcast sucked. What you need to say is your unbelievably long statement announcing why you weren't going to do a podcast sucked. All right? All right, get it right there, cunt face. So, yeah, we go into the Waffle House. We're both fucking hungover. I've been to the Waffle House a bunch of times because I travel this fucking country. Paul Verzi has never been to the fucking Waffle House because he doesn't work this part of the country much. Or maybe he just never went to it, which I would understand because of the piss yellow sign that they have with the incredibly bland black font. It is. Hey, here's a question for you guys in this non-podcast. When you guys look at like fast food, don't you know what, like some signs are like appealing and they make you want to eat the food or at the very least try it? We having an earthquake? Or is that just wind? Been having a lot of earthquakes lately. I thought it was one of those little ones. Every once in a while I get one of those little ones out here. And it just feels like, you know, if your eyes are closed at night and you get one of those, you feel like if you opened your eyes, there'd be some guy standing at the end of your bed just shaking it. Like, I'm going to fucking kill you. Anyway, so we go, Jesus Christ, I got nothing. This is not a podcast, everybody. I can't even fucking think right now. I had a muffin, a bag of M&Ms, a water, and some sort of chicken wrap. All airport fucking food. I've destroyed my body. I think at least 2 of my organs have shut down at this point. I'm going to go with 1 kidney and, let's see, the pancreas? No, that's the fucking grand central of the organs, isn't it? What exactly does the pancreas do? That's for all you geeks out there who let me know that facetious is not the only word that has all the vowels in a row. You hear that, geeky person who sent me that fucking email that said, the interesting thing about the word facetious is it's the only word in the English language where all the vowels, not only are all the vowels in the English language in the word, they're actually in order. It's the only word in the English language. I'm sorry to tell you, sir, you're actually wrong. And I can't remember what the other word is, but at least 2 other nerds emailed me to let me know that you were wrong. So I'm not going to read the emails because this is not a podcast this week. I'm taking this week off. So what you need to do is you need to deepen the level of nerd that you fucking hang out with before you make an ass of yourself like that again on the podcast. Lucky for you, I'm not trashing you on another podcast or else you would be embarrassed right now. Fortunately for you, this got buried on the back page of this non-podcast this week.
So anyways, which fast food restaurant do you guys feel like the sign makes the food look like the least appealing? For me, I would go with the Waffle House because they have like that piss yellow fucking sign and they have the plainest black font. It's just horrible. It's absolutely horrible and it makes me sick to my stomach. Arby's is another one. That blood orange color. That fucking hat and their gray roast beef. And by the way, I ate there last night at about fucking 1 a.m. Jesus Christ. You know what I used to hate too was the Subway back in the day when they had those piss yellow counters in the newspaper articles all on the walls. Remember that? They literally had urine-colored tables with newspapers. The only thing was missing was a homeless guy rolled up in the wallpaper pissing on the tables. That was basically subconsciously what they were creating. And not only that, the pictures on the wall. Oh, no, wait. No. The newspapers. Oh, I'm fucking this up. The Subway used to have pictures of old New York on it. That's what it had. Wow, I fucked that up. The newspapers were actually the tabletops of the old Wendy's. There's a bunch of guys 41 years old and older right now fucking punching their dashboard going, that's right, I was going to fucking say that. I remember that shit. And you go in there and you'd order the triple. Do you remember one time, I say you remember one time. One time I was standing in line at Wendy's and I was making my girl crack up, or maybe my girlfriend at the time. I can't even fucking think this week. I was making her laugh her ass off because I was making fun of who the fuck orders a triple cheeseburger. I don't even know what I was saying, but I had her dying laughing. And I was so psyched that I was making her laugh because it was making me feel good. I had her crying laughing. Then I had said triple cheeseburger so many fucking times that when I walked up to the register, I ended up ordering it. And then she looked at me like, what the fuck did you do that for? And then I felt stupid for ordering it. But then I also felt, I didn't want to be like, oh, wait. I didn't want to look like an asshole. And then the gluttonous side of me is like, oh, great, I get to eat a triple cheeseburger. Like a fat fuck. So anyways, I would go with Arby's and I would go with the Waffle House signage. So anyways, we walk into the Waffle House. And for those of you who have never been to a Waffle House, don't ever put your elbows on the table because you won't be able to get them off without taking off at least 2 layers of skin. Because they're sticky. Somebody kill me. I just had an urge to do. I'm wearing a thermal right now. I had the urge to take this thing off and hang myself by the sleeves. I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing this week. This statement is it's just going to be a long statement. So anyways, we walk into the fucking Waffle House. And yes, I did lose some energy in my voice. I'm running out of batteries here. Yeah, I'm sweating here. We walk into the Waffle House, and we're both fucking hungover. Now, I've been to the Waffle House hundreds of times, so I already know the menu. Paul, on the other hand, does not know the menu. So the waitress comes over, and she goes, you guys ready to order? And I'm like, yeah, actually, I'm ready to order. So Verzi goes into a fucking panic. And it's a big, overwhelming fucking menu. They have like 98 different kinds of hash browns, smothered, covered, fucking shit on, or whatever the fuck you're supposed to say there. That he just, I order what I order, and then he didn't know what the fuck to do. He's just looking at the pictures, pancakes, toast, eggs, and he finally just goes, yeah, do you have, what did he order? He ordered Eggs Benedict at a fucking Waffle House. Who the fuck order? That's like trying to order like a ribeye steak at McDonald's. They don't have it, Paul. Over easy or fucking scrambled. I mean, there's like toothless truckers in there, convicted felons, has-been rappers. It's a shithole. But their waffles are delicious, especially when you're hungover. Their food's so fattening, I actually had a little hiccup there as I was just describing it. So anyways, and this is the kicker. Like that night, I have 3 fucking shows. All right? But because I'm a professional, I'm able to push all the feelings that I have of the horror that I've done to my body over the last fucking 24 hours. I go on stage, kill at 7, kill at 10. I go to do 7, 9, and 11. The 11 o'clock show, I literally have a splitting fucking headache. And all I can think of is Jerry Lewis and how he never ever sat down in his tuxedo pants and he always gave him a fucking show. And I was like, instead of what would Jesus do, what would Jerry do? He would give him a show. Lady. So I plowed through that one. And then that was the end of my weekend. So you're probably thinking to yourself right now, well, then why are you issuing a statement, Bill? You were finished Saturday. It's fucking Monday. Didn't you recuperate yesterday? No, I did not. I went to the Masters yesterday and watched Phil Mickelson win his 3rd green jacket. And it was an incredible experience. I went to the Super Bowl of golf, everybody. And after having gone there and seen how fucking beautiful that golf course is, I don't know why they don't call the Super Bowl the Masters of football. You know why? Because nobody fucking watches golf to the level that they watch football. That's why. I knew the answer to that question. I'm just trying to tell you that was a beautiful course. And basically, you don't get tickets to the Masters. All right? Because I want to tell you guys, this is just like Royal Albert Hall that I saw. This is another thing that if you're into golf, you have to do at some point. You don't get tickets. What you do is you get a badge. And you have to get a badge from some sort of dude who knows a member, who knows a fucking guy, who knows a guy, who fucking knew a guy, who knew a guy. And when you go to pick up your tickets, you actually fucking, at least we did, we actually drove to somebody's house. And I remember I thought it was going to be like some will call shit, and it wasn't. We're driving through this neighborhood, and I'm looking at the addresses, and I'm like, I think it's the next house. It's a house? I must be on the wrong street. And then I look, and there's this woman sitting in a garage waving at us. And I was like, all right, well, either this is the place where we're supposed to be, or this is the friendliest fucking neighborhood I've ever been to. Or maybe I look like one of her neighbors, or maybe she has a rape fantasy, and she ordered a redhead. Because you know how many redhead gigolos are out there, everybody. I'm telling you, we're in demand. We're dying off. We're like the white rhinos of fucking human beings. People are trying to bang us before we disappear. I mean, think about it. Think about the dodo bird. Think about if you actually stuck your dick in a dodo bird. You trump every story in a bar. I fucked something that doesn't exist anymore. What are you, a necrophiliac? No, you fucking asshole. I fucked a dodo bird. Anyways, now right there, I would have complained. If that was on a regular podcast, I would have complained about that last bit there. But fortunately, this is not a podcast. I'm just issuing a statement that I do not have the energy to fucking do this week. So anyways, we get these fucking badges, and they actually bring you into the house. We sit in this library, and I'm sitting there, and this woman is debriefing me about these badges. Okay? I'm already freaked out about going to the Masters because there's a level of whiteness and a level of education that even intimidates me as white as I am. Now, aesthetically, AESTHETICALLY. Aesthetically, I don't even know if I spelt it right, but I know how to spell it when I'm not fucking brain dead. It's one of my spelling words. Let's get smart, America! Aesthetically, I'm very white. Alabaster, if you ask my girlfriend. That's how she describes me. Porcelain-esque. That's how white I am. But this is the different kind of white. This is the Thurston Howell III kind of white. And Ivy League kind of white. Illuminati, rubbing elbows with the Kennedys. We summer in the Hamptons. We have a house on Martha's Vineyard. When Jesus comes back, he's going to have to be buzzed into our house after he talks to our lawyer. Our lawyer will be present when Jesus judges me. Like that level of fucking white. So I went on the internet and I actually was like, I know there's a dress code here. And the last thing I want to do when I go to a place like that is I don't want to come in there and disrespect the place. I don't give a fuck about the approval of those people. But you know what I mean? You go into that place, it's an unbelievable golf event. I respect the history of it. Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Ben Hogan, all that type of stuff. So I want to go there and show it the respect that it deserves. All right? And also, I don't want to walk in there looking like a fucking bum. So I go on the internet and I check out the dress code, and it's literally collared shirt, no jeans allowed, all this shit. So for the first time in about, I think, 20 years, I actually, when I had some sort of a suit job, I actually bought a pair of Dockers. Dockers, everybody. At least I went with the black ones. I did not buy khaki. I refuse to ever wear khaki. There's only 2 people in the world wear khaki. Animal experts and date rapists. All right? I'm not wearing khaki. So I bought a pair of black Dockers. And I had this blue, like, Nike golf shirt. And then I had the Tiger Woods Nike hat, the black one with the red V. Why am I acting like I'm walking the red carpet for my movie Date Night that came out last weekend, which is a huge fucking hit, everybody? I'm so fucking psyched. Date Night was a huge hit. It made a ton of fucking money. And if you went out and saw it, I want to say thank you, because I hope it's such a huge hit that they make a fucking sequel. And maybe I'll be able to reprise my role as Detective Walsh. You know? Maybe I'll turn bad in the second one, like fucking Kehoe in Another 48 Hours. Remember that? I'll grow one of those walrus mustaches. I don't give a shit. It's the first movie I've really booked ever in my career. I'm averaging one every 18 years. If I can go on a run with this thing, I'll be psyched. For those of you who haven't seen it and enjoy this podcast, this is not a podcast. This is just a statement. But enjoy all the other free podcasts. And you'll be like, you know what? He never comes and tours in my area. Or I don't care to see his act live, but I would like to somehow pay it forward. You could pay it forward by buying a ticket to Date Night. You could even do me a bigger favor, is if you've already seen it, or you don't even want to fucking see it, you'd rather see another movie, do me a favor. Just buy 2 tickets to Date Night and just go into the other movie that you wanted to anyways. Just so it pads the stats. Date Night, starring Steve Carell and Tina Fey, is at a local Cineplex near you. Please go see it. So anyways, so we get the badges, and this is the deal. You're not allowed to bring a cell phone in. You're not allowed to bring a camera in. You're not allowed to bring video equipment in. You're not allowed to bring shit in. All you're allowed to bring in is yourself, the clothes that cover you, and some fucking cash. And some sunblock. That's it. All right, so you walk in there, and you're going through like a metal detector, like you're going through the airport, and immediately there's this sense of, is the president nearby? Because that's what this security feels like. And the big thing with these badges is, it's not like you get the badge at the person's house or however the fuck you get it, and you get to keep it. You have to return the badge. And when you have this badge, you have the responsibility to not break any rules. Because if they kick you out, they take your badge. So you'll never come again. So not only can you never come again, the person whose badge it was does not get it back ever again, no matter what. Because you were obviously not good enough a judge of character, considering that you gave this badge to this person that we now have to eject. And when I went there, all I heard was stories of people that they had seen get ejected. Some guy actually got a cell phone in there, and it rang at some point during the match. And people just appear out of nowhere. Okay? One guy puts you in a fucking chokehold. Another guy snatches the badge off your shirt. And the badge has to be displayed at all times. And you would think with all those fucking people there, if you didn't have it displayed, you had, very small chance of someone stopping you. I had mine in my pocket, and I walked like 10 feet with it, and this guy just appeared out of nowhere with his Masters, that green-colored shirt. Sir, where's your badge? Where's your badge, sir? Sir, do you have a badge? Fucking gun drawn. He made me reach in my pocket with 2 fingers, Pull it out, kid. Whatever. So anyways, So we walk out we get there. First thing we do is we walk into the pro shop, and I already told myself I was going to spend it like $400. And God damn it, if I didn't, it's exactly what I did. I got some shot glasses, I got some golf balls, I got some hats for people. They actually sell those Masters, the flags, that they have on the pins all around there. It just says the Masters 2010. Very clean, very elegant. It's the shit. Bought a bunch of those for some friends and a couple of golf shirts. The usual bullshit. And then I bought one of those, the best souvenir I ended up getting is because you don't want to stand up for fucking 12 hours watching people golf. What's up, Cleo? How you doing? I didn't know you were laying there. How you doing? You guys haven't heard a fucking moan lately. Anyways, I just do that for me. So anyways, they sell these chairs there that you can sit on. Oh, Jesus. See, this is why this isn't a podcast. Did you hear what I just said? They sell these chairs that you can sit on. Is that what you do with the chair, Bill? And they actually end up being one of the most coveted souvenirs, because when you go to get on the plane the next day, you see everybody got them slung over their shoulders. The way they fold up, it looks like you're carrying like a yoga mat, except it weighs like fucking 20 pounds. So anyways, let's cut to the chase here, because I got to finish this statement early. I went out onto the golf course, and those of you who are big fans of golf and you watch the Masters every year, you got to go there, because when you go and you see the clubhouse, you can't go in it, but when you see it and you just start walking the course, this is what I suggest. Get there at like 8 in the morning and start at 18 and just walk the course backwards all the way to the front. I didn't do that because I had too much shit that I bought. And I just walked to different holes that I really liked. But that's what this guy told me to do, walk the whole fucking course. But we got there a little late because I was in a bar the night before watching a guy with a box on his head sing songs that I couldn't really understand. But anyways, you go onto the course, and I've never been to anything like this as far as nature goes. It was like seeing famous people, except they were fairways. Like I walked up and around, so when I came to 18, I was in between where you tee off and looking down the fairway. You know when someone's just bringing it home and is going to win the Masters? There's a roadway where you walk across, and I looked right down that fairway. And I don't know, it's one of those fucking things where you just like, this really exists. It isn't. This is real. And then you go over to hole number 12. I got the little pamphlet here. They got all the holes are named. The 12th hole, what the fuck do they call it? They have like the Golden Bell is the name. This is how white this is. You guys want to hear the names of the holes? Now, usually when I talk about holes on the podcast, it's a lot more crass than this. Hole number 1 is called Tea Olive. All right, that's not too. Hole number 2 is called Pink Dogwood. Tell me there isn't a porno to be made with some of these names. Flowering Peach. It's the 3rd hole. These are all mildly sexual, aren't they? Flowery Crab Apple. Oh, that's the one where, like, if you're into watching guys fuck old women. This is really just going to get disgusting. 5th hole is Magnolia. You get the point. Juniper is the 6th. Pampas, I don't know what the fuck. Yellow Jasmine. But whatever. They got all these flowers and everything's in bloom, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You just walk around looking at all these famous holes. Like, I couldn't believe, when I was coming up onto 12 to see that little bridge there on whatever the fuck they call it, the Pink Petunia, Golden Bell. It's just unbelievable when you see it. It's literally iconic. The same feeling I got when I saw Big Ben in London. How fucking awesome is my life this past month? When I saw Big Ben, you just stare at it. You can't believe it. It's just something you've seen your whole life, and now you're standing there looking at it. And I'm telling you, the fucking urge. This is the thing about it. There was so many things. You can't talk to the golfers. Like if Tiger hits something, hit the ball, hit something, his wife, If Tiger hit the fucking ball, you could literally go like, as he came walking up to the ball, you'd be like, come on, Tiger. You could say something like that, maybe. But that's it. After you hit the ball, you couldn't be like, you're the man, Tiger. Tiger, I love you. That's it. Someone would appear out of nowhere, chloroform rag right over your fucking nose. Somebody else yanks off your fucking badge, and that's it. And they pummel you with billy clubs that are the same color as the Masters green. And they just beat the shit out of you, and they toss you over the fucking fence. That's how it works. But I got to admit, with all those rules, the urge to just do something like that and get kicked out, like I almost had like Tourette's. Because what I ended up doing is I settled on the 15th hole, and I sat in the bleachers. And I don't know what that one's called. Wispy pubic hair. What the fuck do they call this one? The 15th fucking hole is called Firethorn. And it had this, so this is basically what we did. We realized that there were so many fucking people there. And we had our chairs that we had to lug around and $400 worth of shit in his bag. I wasn't going to walk 18 holes and just follow Tiger around. I didn't want to do that because there's too many fucking people. And there's people camped out around where they tee off, and they're camped out around the green. So what you can basically do is run down the fucking fairway if you can get there, knowing that all the golfers have a point A to point B once just to keep play moving. You, on the other hand, have specific areas where you can cross over fairways and that type of shit. And if you don't, they destroy you and they take your badge. So we just said, fuck it. We're going to go to 15. We're going to sit there. We can watch them hit their second shot. It's a par 5, and we look over our shoulder. We can't see them tee off on 16, but we can see the result of their shot. And we sat there in the bleachers, and knowing that we had a good 2.5 hours to wait until they came. I think it was actually 3 hours. So we just sat there. And you would think it would be boring as hell, and it wasn't. You're just shooting the shit with other people, older people who've gone to the Masters since like the early 70s, late 70s. One guy from like 1952, I didn't get a chance to talk to them, but they talk about, Nicholas winning in 86 and all this shit. It was, if you're a sports fan, it was fucking incredible. And meanwhile, all we're doing is we're sitting waiting for the beer taps to be turned on. And this is how secretive this fucking place is no one had any idea when they get turned on. Somebody up in the clubhouse, in the inner fucking catacombs of the clubhouse, gives everybody the go-ahead to turn on the beer taps. And they can't even tell you when. I don't know, maybe 12:30, maybe 1, we're not sure. And they don't have any advertising, so it just says domestic beer, regular beer. The whole fucking thing is just like, look, we're in control. All right? You want an import? This is import. You want a domestic? This is domestic. What kind is it? I can't disclose that. I'm not allowed to tell you. When are you turning the beer on? We're not allowed to tell you, sir. Why are you being hostile? So we're just sitting there, and there's a couple turtles outside the fucking pond there, and we start gambling on the turtles. Which one's going to go in the fucking water first? Then they turn on the beer, and we start getting shit-faced. And we're waiting for the first fucking golfers to come. And then it's just like the Indy 500. You just bet on golfers. It's like the most elegant track you've ever been to, and you just wait, and they're coming through 2 at a time. Ernie Els, Kenny Perry's coming through. Fucking Sergio Valente, whatever his fucking name is. And they're just right in front of you. It's the shit, and you're just sitting there getting hammered, betting on golfers and fucking turtles. That's what I did all day, sitting in the sun. Fucking saw 2 holes in one, or at least the results of them. I heard him hit the green. No, it hits the green, and I hear the crowd go crazy. And I look over, and I see it roll in the cup, and everybody goes fucking nuts. I lost $100 on the first one and won $100 on the next one, so I was even. And I got to admit, dude, when you sit there, and all of a sudden you look, and you know Tiger's coming next because you got like the whole list of golfers. It was fucking unreal. And you see him come over the hill. All right? Like a fucking... What do those deer hunters say? 15-horned fucking deer, man. 20-pointer coming over the hill. And I got it in my sights, man. I'm going to shoot it right in the fucking head. That was what it's like. Tiger comes over the damn hill. You just see him. You can't even see him. He's so far away. You see a black guy. who looks like a black guy who's actually mostly fucking Asian or whatever the hell he is. I don't know what the hell he is. You see some tan dude beyond the tan that a white guy can get coming over the hill with a red shirt and the fucking black pants on. You're like, that's fucking Tiger Woods. And a hush just falls over the entire hole. Like there's like 3,000 people sitting there and it's dead quiet. And you just see that ball fucking just flying. I saw him eagle the fucking hole. I saw him eagle it. I saw Kim, the Korean dude, eagle it. I think I saw, was it Ernie Els? That was another thing that kind of sucked. It was kind of hard to tell if it was their second or third. You just knew with guys like Kim and Tiger Woods, the way they drove, that it was their second shot. Anyways, whatever. It was fucking awesome. And Phil Mickelson came in last because he was on the leaderboard. And once he went past us, I ran off the bleachers, went down, and he's the only guy I watched tee off. Watched him tee off on 16. And then we grabbed our shit and we ran over to 18. And Tiger had already finished, but we stood there halfway down the three quarters of the way up the 18th at Augusta and watched Mickelson tee off. We watched him hit his second shot, and then we couldn't see through the crowd when he sunk the winning putt. But we stood there, and I looked between a bunch of fucking blue bloods' heads, and I watched him put the green jacket on and get choked up when he talked about his wife. And it was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had. And it's making me really thankful for the incredible fucking life I have. And I hope this isn't building resentment with you guys. You know? If you just lay off drinking for a little bit, you know, you could buy one of those badges. Buy a stinking badge and go next year. Just do one thing. Do one fucking thing. You know? I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm saying. This is just my statement that I'm not doing a podcast this week. I'm not fucking doing it. But no, you can go there. It was cost me $600. I know that's a lot of fucking money. I know it is. But think how much money you blow each weekend in a bar. All right? Figure out what you blow each weekend in a bar. Here's a good way to do it. Here's a nice healthy way. And just go on the wagon for a while. And then just take the money that you would have spent on booze, you put it into your Augusta fund. You know? And just fucking drive there. Do a fucking road trip. Get yourself a pair of Dockers and a golf shirt. All right? Have them nice and pressed and clean. Drive like a goddamn maniac. Both you and your buddy, even if you live in Seattle, trade off. Drive all the fuck way down there. Go into somebody's house. Get debriefed. Walk in there, act like a gentleman, and get to see something that most people never get to see. And what's great is all the souvenirs, they don't really sell anything on the internet. So that's why you buy a ton of shit, is because everybody asks you to get them some stuff. And even if they don't, you got great gifts for the rest of the year. You know, you can do all your Christmas shopping right there. You get somebody a fucking hat at the Masters, they're going to be psyched because no one else is going to have that fucking hat unless they went there. So there you go. And that's the end of my statement for this week, people. 38-minute statement. I actually flew back this morning, and I was an idiot. I guess something like I was a little more buzzed than I thought I was, and I was really tired, and I only got 3 hours sleep. I'm fucking embarrassed. I yelled at a cop when I drove out of the Masters. It was really late. Because we stuck around to the end, and we sat through this fucking traffic, and all I had to do was make a left and drive like 40 yards down the road, and I could jump on the fucking highway, and I was on my way. And I was exhausted, and I wanted to go to sleep. And what ends up happening, it's one of those deals where the cops decide that everybody's going to go right. We're forcing everyone right. And I want to go left so I can go a cunt hair down the street and get on the highway. So I got my window down. I'm like, I can't go left. The guy, no, keep going. So I'm driving. I know what they're doing. So I get to the third cop, and I see a gas station. I'm just like, I just want to get some gas. Can I get some gas? The guy's like, keep it going. Keep it moving. And I just went, what? I can't get some gas? Just like that. Fucking screamed at him as I drove by because he was on foot and because I was a little drunk. And then I drove away, and all of a sudden I couldn't feel my legs going like that. I just fucking do that as a Yankee in the middle of fucking Georgia. Did I just yell at that guy? Clearly, though, was I just obnoxious? And then I was like, I don't give a shit. And the first left I could make, I made a left, and then I banged one of the most illegal fucking U-turns, hybrid 3-point fucking turns. And there were 2 cops sitting right there. And my buddy's like, dude, which is universal for there's a cop. Dude. And I was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. He's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm a little buzzed, and I'm a control freak. Don't fucking tell me where I can't go. I've been on that goddamn golf course every day. All I wanted to do was run out of the bleachers on somebody's approaching shot on 15 and do a fucking cannonball right into that little mini lake. I already had it planned out. I was going to give my badge to my buddy and tell him, dude, take a walk. Dude, what do you mean just take a fucking walk? And he'd see it in my eyes and be like, all right, man. And he'd just grab our shit and he'd just walk away. And then what I would do is I'd do a cannonball right into the fucking lake, okay? And I would immediately be a fucking legend, an absolute fucking legend on jackass.com. If there's something, I'd be right up there with Fan Man, that fucking kid at Yankee Stadium who jumped off into the backstop netting. I don't know who else. That dude who ran out and grabbed the football and got slammed down to the ground by the linebacker on Monday Night Football. I'd be one of those guys. I'd be put on that fucking, whacked out sports or whatever. I would be on that shit forever. And then when they pulled me out of there, and they went to grab my badge, I wouldn't have it. Where's your badge? I don't know. Must be at the bottom of the pond. There, Thurston. Why don't you take off your loafers and roll up your slacks and go in there and try and find it? What's the worst you're going to do to me? Prosecute me to the full extent of the law? They know every big judge in the state. I'd probably still be in fucking prison. But I got to admit, I don't know. So anyway, then I just drove the rest of the fucking way home. I stopped at Arby's. Went to bed at fucking 12 midnight. Had to get up at 6:30, and I got on a fucking plane. I had a muffin. I had M&Ms, and there was a baby crying the whole way, and I don't give a shit. I never care when babies cry on planes. I don't give a fuck. But there was some square-headed cunt in front of me who kept turning around looking at him. I was like, all right, that's the career woman who hates kids. I see why she's looking at him. She didn't want to have kids, so she's annoyed with their presence. And then I see she has a wedding ring. And there's only one reason to get married, and that's to have kids, okay? So I'm looking at her like she must be the worst mother ever, because every time this kid cries, she turns around, starts looking for her mother, shooting her look, shaking her head. And I just want to be like, it's a fucking baby. It's a fucking baby. She had a baby, man. It's a fucking baby. It's unbelievable. I hate when people do that shit. It's like, how do you not understand, we're in a pressurized cabin. The baby doesn't know how to clear its ears. It's a fucking baby, stupid cunt. So at one point, she looked, and I gave her such a dirty look for fucking giving the mother a dirty look that when her fucking eyes met my eyes, she looked at me like surprised at first and then realized that she was being a cunt. And then she tried to play it off with this smile like, yeah, isn't it cute? Isn't it cute that the baby's crying? Too late. I've already judged you. You're a horrible mother. And you're a horrible person. And this ends. This is the conclusion of my statement. 43 minutes said that I am not doing a podcast this week. I regret to inform all of you that due to circumstances beyond your control, our host this week, BillBurr, abused his body to such a fucking level that he had an inability to do a podcast this week and only had an ability to... what I should have done in the spirit of the Masters, what I should have done was I should have issued an apology just like Tiger Woods and droned on for 45 minutes boring the shit out of you. Oh, wait a minute. I think I already did that. I believe I already did that. All right, that's the podcast for this week. Once again, I'm so sorry that I couldn't give you a podcast this week. I couldn't give you some laughs. I will be coming out I'll give you both barrels next week. Speaking of which, I'm going to be at the Funny Bone in Newport, Kentucky, right across the river from Cincinnati. And I got to be honest with you guys. I already have a new killer hour. That's right. I said it. I said it. All right, maybe it's not a killer hour. It's like 40 minutes out of the hour. I already have 40 new fucking minutes. How do you like that shit? I just taped a special in December. All right, we're midway through April, and I already can run my fucking mouth for 40 minutes with some new shit, provided I'm on. If I'm off, I have 8 new minutes. That's where my act is at. But I'm not going to lie to you. I talked about Tiger Woods for like 11 minutes the other night. All of it funny, crushing, destroying. I was so psyched, but in the back of my head, I'm like, you realize that now after he plays the Masters, that, you know, I can only tell that story for so long. It's basically mid-May. It's going to be an old story. It already is. I'm still talking about that lady who got killed at SeaWorld. I'm going to give you a little preview for what I'll be talking about. What am I talking about? My trip to church. I went again, by the way. Went again on Easter. I went on Easter Sunday. You know, my girlfriend's mom wanted to go to church. She didn't want to go by herself. So I said, all right, I'll go with you. We all went. A little happy family. I went there, sat there, bored, shitless. It was extra packed. Took forever to eat that piece of cardboard at the end of it, or whatever other offensive thing you want me to say. I don't know. I literally am like sitting here. I'm laying here right now, and I'm like, my eyes are squinting. Like there's a doctor, and he's like, you know, I fucked up my elbow, and he's like, tell me, does this hurt? Does this? Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, right there. I'm literally doing that right now as I'm doing this fucking podcast. I got nothing. All right, I had nothing for you this week, and I'm the first one to tell it to you. And you know what? I actually started this podcast like 6 fucking times. I forget if I said this, but somebody sent me a really nasty email, cursing me out because they sent me an email and I didn't answer their email. And he said, because you didn't answer my email, I didn't go to see any of your shows in Atlanta. And I don't know if I already talked about this. I apologize if I didn't, sir. I don't give a shit. All right, if you haven't learned anything from my podcast, is I really don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you listen to this or you don't. I don't give a fuck if you go to my shows or you don't. I don't give a fuck. You know, do I not want people to come to my shows? Of course I do. Do I not want people to listen to my podcast? Of course I don't. I got messed up there in those double negatives. I want people to come to my shows. I want people to listen to my podcast. But let me tell you something right now, fucko. I don't respond to fucking threats. Don't fucking threaten me, or don't fucking, try to put some sort of ominous bullshit on how you want me to fucking behave with your fucking email. I don't give a fuck about your email. I get fucking hundreds of emails every goddamn week. And if I don't get to yours, I don't fucking get to yours. So go fuck yourself. If you want to pout and not come to my show, don't go to my show. I don't give a fuck. You sound like a cunt anyways. You probably go to my show and then fucking judge it. And be like, the first 8 minutes were good, and then I thought from minute 12 to 17. Go fuck yourself. All right? Why don't you go stick your head through your fucking computer monitor? God knows you probably still have one of those old ones. Shaped like a fucking microwave. Is that what you got? As you work, look how fast people drive on this fucking street. I'm literally getting to that age. Yelling out the window at kids. Stop driving like I did at your age. There's another good character for a sketch. Crabby, honest old man. Honest, crabby old man. Stop treating me with the same disrespect I had for my elders when I was at your age. Or maybe not. Shit, God knows SNL could turn that into like a 15-minute sketch and then stretch it into an hour and 40-minute movie. All right, there we go. I burned a bridge there. Like I was going to get cast on that at 41. Maybe I could. Didn't Phil Hartman get on old? Or what I perceived to be old when he got on? He was probably like 34 at the time, which was ancient to me. And now at my age, I would love to be fucking 34 again. Oh, to be that age. I remember, what was great about when I was 34? I could run like a fucking 7.940 when I was 30. When I was 34, it was a very good year. My fucking dog just licked the bottom of my foot. It's a goddamn freak. I didn't have a dog that shit on the floor or needed to go outside. I did what I wanted. I went down water slides when I was 34. What's up, Cleo? How you doing? You know how psyched I was to see you? You know I was psyched to see you? Because you were psyched to see me. You're always psyched to see me, aren't you? You know my dog actually misses me? Comes into the bedroom at night and it fucking looks around for me. Then it runs into my little office area looking for me. Right? If I'm not around, who are you going to wrestle with? Let me see if I can get you to moan. You won't do it. You know what you are? You're like that fucking frog in Bugs Bunny. Then all of a sudden I bring you in somewhere. Hey, Cleo, let me see if I can get you to howl. You want to go outside? Cleo? This is going to be worth it, people. Just listen. Cleo, you want to go outside? Huh? Cleo? Cleo. Hey. She's getting psyched. Cleo. You want to go outside? Cleo. Cleo. I want her to howl. Come on. Cleo. You want to go outside? Cleo? Would you fucking do it, please? Cleo. You want to go outside? You want to go outside? Cleo. Oh, you're fucking burning me right now. Cleo. Hey, fuckhead. Cleo. You want to go outside? Cleo. You know what? Go fuck yourself. Jesus Christ, what was that, 3 minutes? You blew it. Cleo. Why won't you howl for these people? And in conclusion, there is no podcast this week. I regret to inform you. Don't come over now. Don't come over now. You want some food? You want to go outside? Cleo. I'm going to give one more temp. Cleo, you want to go outside? Cleo. Ah, Jesus Christ. You know what this is like? You know what you mean right now? You know the hot chick that'll never fuck you? And she just keeps giving you a glimmer of hope and you keep coming back. You keep coming back. Whatever. I still love you, Cleo. You know, even though you just made me look like a fucking asshole. You really did. That was literally the Bueller. Anybody? Anybody? All right, that concludes my statement. That's the statement I'm sticking by. It's all in the police report, as Tiger Woods would say. There you go. There's another thing you should do. Pick one of these fucking things to do. And if one of you guys ends up doing something that I told you to do and you enjoy it, please send me an email. Like a year from now, if you go to the Masters, let me fucking know. All right? Because I think I'm going to go again next year. That's how much fucking fun I had. Or go to England. Do some shit. Do something. For fuck's sakes. All right. I'll talk to you next week.